What's going on, guys? It is your boy Forte, and we're here to talk about Sony laying off about 8% of their workforce, which is about 900 people when it comes to SIE. A lot of studios being affected, some studios being closed, and it's never really easy to talk about things like this. It's just a thing that happens, and I know we are still in the midst of a huge boom in gaming, but it was even huger boom back in 2020, 2021, when a lot of people were still stuck at home playing games, nothing else to do. These corporations and these publishers and developers and all of these manufacturers hired so many people to basically keep up with the demand of gaming. And you're really starting to see that crash really happen right before our eyes. So Jim Ryan came out, he posted an email to SIE employees, which we're going to read in a second here today. But they did end up letting go, like I said earlier, 8% of the workforce when it comes to SIE, which is about 900 people. And not only were studios closed, but even some of their very well publicized and some of the studios that do the best for them, like Insomniac, Naughty Dog, and Gorilla, you know, those studios have been affected too. And I think it's just very upsetting as a gamer to basically think about how that's happening when you have these studios doing very, very well when it comes to the games that they're releasing. You know, Insomniac has dropped banger after banger for Sony ever since their acquisition back in, I believe, end of 2019 with Spider-Man. And then you got Horizon on their second game. It may not be the game for a lot of people. You know, for me, it was kind of whatever, but we are not going to deny that the game still struck a chord with a lot of people. And then when you fast forward to games like, you know, teams like Naughty Dog, you know, the Uncharted series, Last of Us, sure, they had some shortfalls when it came to the Last of Us Online and that being canceled and everything. But I also think a lot of these layoffs have something to do with just games as a service. Sony came out roaring out the gate saying, we're going to release 12 games as a service games over the course of the next couple of years. And that has been drastically cut to 6. And it looks like it might be getting dropped even further. I just feel like the live service bubble is about to pop. I've been a person that's played live service games for, it feels like, forever. But it started with Destiny with me. It actually really started with Borderlands, but it wasn't a, you know, that type of game where you just felt like you were so addicted you couldn't miss out in playing it. So I get why SIE wanted to go after games as a service. I know they saw how much Fortnite is making on their system, and they see how all of these other third-party games, like, you know, even PUBG when it released on their platform, how that did, and how Apex Legends does. It's real easy to make yourself feel like you need to have one of those, and everybody wants one. But I also feel like Sony has gotten to a point where it's a little too late for you to like really capitalize on that games as a service. Games as a service is something that you just kind of usher yourself and find yourself into. Bungie learned how to do it over the course of almost a generation when it comes to like a 10-year lifespan of their game, and they're still working on stuff like that. Helldivers is doing really well at PlayStation right now, but is it going to be the long-term success that they needed to be to like fund other games on top of just maintaining itself over the course of its live service journey? Who really knows at this point? I just think that we kind of need to pump the brakes on people thinking, or corporations thinking, that live service is the end and be all, because even places like Fortnite laid off I forget, a good amount of people. Can't remember exactly how many it was. Xbox just laid off a bunch of people last month. It's really hard to come to grips with basically everything that's going on, and a lot of people are upset about it. But ultimately, it comes back to the games. And when PlayStation hasn't really talked about a lot of their first party offerings, and on top of that, they're closing studios, shutting down development, and canceling games, It just feels like, what is PlayStation doing? So let's just talk about exactly what they had to say in this press release. So this is from, CEO Jim Ryan, who is about to be the retired Jim Ryan in the second team. It is important to provide you updates about the business as often as possible. Today, I'm writing with sad news. Through discussion over the past few months about evolving economic landscapes changed in the way we develop, distribute, and launch products and ensure our organization is future ready in this rapidly changing industry. We have concluded that through tough decisions have become inevitable. The leadership team and I have made the incredible difficult decision to restructure our operations, which regrettably include a reduction in our workforce, impacting very talented individuals who have contributed to our success. Ooh, man, reading this in an email, can you imagine how those people felt just seeing this for the first time? And at that point, probably not even knowing if they were one of those people, because, sometimes companies like to go out and they'll call people into a meeting and let them know that they're the ones that's let go. Then they'll send this email out to everybody. So we really don't know what the process of this was. Some people probably read this and got called into a room after the fact of seeing it and got hit twice upside the head. Or they could have did it and sent it out to everybody after the fact. And then people found out that their friend that was literally sitting one cubicle down is no longer with the company. It's kind of crazy how these things happen. After careful consideration and many leadership discussions over the several months, it has become clear change needs to be made to continue to grow the business and develop the company. We had to step back and look at our business holistically and move forward, focusing on the long-term sustainability of the company and delivering the best experience possible for our community. The goal is to streamline our resources to ensure our continued success and ability to deliver experienced gamers and creators have come to expect from us. I want to be as transparent as possible with you, our partners, and our community about what this means. Bullet point 1, we envision reducing our headcount by about 900 people, or about 8% of the current workforce. There will be an impact to employees across all SIE regions, America, EMEA, Japan, and APAC. Several studios are affected. I know that receiving this news will be hard and unsettling, and you are wondering what this means for you. Timelines and procedures for how we will approach this will vary based on your location due to local law and regulations. So they hadn't told these people yet, and they did find out in the email, it looks like. So for those of you in the US, all impacted employees will be notified today. In the UK, it is proposed the PlayStation Studio London studios will close in its entirety. So there's your closure. That there is a reduction in Fire Sprite Studios. So a studio they just basically acquired not too long ago. They're doing a reduction. And that there will be a reduction in various functions across SIE in the UK. The proposed changes mean that we will enter a period of collective consulting before any final decisions are taken. All employees who are part of the collective consultation will be made aware of the next steps today. In Japan, we will implement a next career support program. Details will be communicated separately. That's awesome. At least you're going to support these people in their transition. How long that support's going to happen, no one knows, but the fact that it's there is always a good thing. In other countries, we will begin the conversation with those who are potentially at risk and impact as they result in their proposed actions, of course. For those who will be leaving SIE, you are leaving this company with our deepest respect and appreciation for all your efforts during the tenure. For those who will be staying at SIE, we will be saying goodbye to friends and colleagues that we cherish during this process, and this will be painful. Your resilience, sensitivity, and adaptiveness will be crucial in the weeks and months to come. This will not be easy. I am aware of the impact it will have on well-being. Affected employees will receive support, including severance benefits. While these are challenging times, it is not indicative of a lack of strength in our company, our brand, or our industry, or our goals to remain agile and adapt and to continue to focus on delivering the best gaming experience possible now and in the future. Thank you for understanding during this difficult period. Please be kind to yourselves and to each other, Jim. So it was long, but it was worth reading. I just think that in general, it's a lot of changes happening in gaming. A lot of people are going to be a little upset. We did find out that once again, studios like Insomniac, studios like Naughty Dog, and studios like Gorilla are affected by this too. And that's probably the thing that got people upset the most, because those studios have definitely performed. So why are they losing people? The only thing I can think of is if they just had way too many people from developing back in 2020 and they're just cutting the fat there. But Totoki came out and he talked about this when he did his interview or whatever it was. He talked about they have to find a way to streamline and save as much money as possible. But I do think a lot of people really don't care. There's not a lot of people, like the only people who care about this is people like me, probably the people like you that watch this video. Most gamers are just going to get up, play the game, don't care, don't even know that this even happened. A lot of them don't even really know that PlayStation hasn't dropped that many first-party exclusives over the course of the last couple of years. It's just been, PlayStation is a strong brand and people know it. So they're going to keep selling systems. They already basically came out and said that we're not going to have any major franchises that release over the next 12 months of their fiscal year. They're basically going to live off of the second party support that they have, some of the first party games that they are publishing from other third party developers, you know, like Square Enix is going to be releasing Final Fantasy here in the next week. So, well, actually this week. So that's going to give PlayStation a boom. It's going to be treated like a first party game, which is amazing. So my biggest question is, how does this make you feel as a gamer, as a person that supports PlayStation, as a person that just supports gaming in general? Do you think there could have been a different way to do this? When Nintendo was going through their things, they didn't want to fire anybody. Their CEO took less money. And is that feasible for everybody? I don't know. But it was a good gesture. It kept those people's jobs. Nintendo was still able to flourish, and look where they are now. So it didn't hurt anybody. So not trying to count anybody's money and say this is what they should do. I'm just saying there are options out there, because those options have been proved to happen before. So just tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Really appreciate that. You guys knocked it out of the park with the last video. Really love the engagement and everything. So with that being said, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel a lot. Tell me down in the comment section what you think about all this. Did you see this coming? Is this like, where do you think we're gonna go? What do you think is next when it comes to PlayStation and their first party? Those are all things I'm really interested in, you know, hearing from you guys. But with that, I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Have a good week and enjoy the games that you're playing. Peace.